Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's called Show Rell, and you're live with Network is my net worth. Man, I'm your host here today, and also my guy Jay Hall Agent. Man, we got another fun one today, y'all. So y'all definitely don't want to miss this one. We're gonna take y'all into a pretty good conversation, man, and we just really gonna let it flow today. No particular topics or anything like that, but typically meaningful meaningful things that we discuss as far as topics, gems and everything like that about life, business, family, all that. G Hall Asian, what's up, my guy?
My guy was good, bro.
Man, all is well, all is well. Let me hit the volume up a little bit.
Cool.
You hear any feedback, or is that me?
Nah. We good. We good.
Cool. The sweetest. What's up? What's up? Man. How you feeling? 3 years in biz. How's it going? Like, give us the update.
Uh, it's going good, man. It's different. Um, it's kind of like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. And then trying to figure out how you're gonna land safely on the way down.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's a different animal, man. It's not something that you can talk about it. You can read books. You can watch shows. You can do all of that until you win it. You don't really know what it is.
One thousand
Um,
percent.
because it's a different animal. So far so good. It's really tested and measured me. And a lot of my belief in myself has been tested to see, am I who I think I am
Mm,
in
yeah,
that kind of
yeah.
situation. And so far it's been challenging, man. You know what I mean? But I've proven worthy enough at this point. And I'm gonna keep pushing. I think the next phase for me in my transition is managing self care, because I have horrible self care, and because I'm trying to build something, I don't I don't feel like I have time to focus on me.
I understand that 1,000%, bro. I kind of was in that same space as well, just business, and any little time that you get, you try to spend it with your loved ones, but not really yourself. I would say, man, in your field, man, your field is so hot right now. Like, you don't want to miss nothing because the action is there. The real estate market is hot. Everybody's buying. Um, everybody's also a realtor.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it because I ain't a realtor. I can say that,
Right. You can do that. You can say that.
bro. So, well, I mean, where do you see this thing? And you can speak as much on it as you want, but obviously, there's an influx in the market, influx of people buying homes, sellers market, or whatever the case might be. Um, I'm noticing within the last 18 months, it's been more realtors than ever. Why would you say that contributed to the market being so hot that people are, just getting their real estate license, jumping in, and they selling homes right off the shelf? That's my first part of the question. The second part is, do you see people still lasting once things die back down? Do you think it's going to go back to where it was a couple years ago, as far as real people being realtors, or do you think that they would maybe die off and try to find something else?
Well, I feel like I don't think people being realtors will ever die down. Just because it's something that it's one of the very few careers where an individual can get licensed fresh out of high school and start a career and build a business from scratch, right? So I don't think it'll die out. To answer the first part of your question in terms of the amount of realtors or whatever, I liken them to dining experiences, right? So there are a lot of restaurants, right? But there are very few fine dining restaurants, right?
Okay.
And you know, my goal in starting my business um, is to build it into as a part of the analogy, the fine dining restaurant. So, you know, they can be, I mean, there's a gajillion realtors a member of the, you know, the Maryland Realtor Association here in the state of Maryland. But it's the separation um, of the two and the willingness to go above and beyond. And to your point, what that ties into is with this market. This market is an animal. You know, when I really first start talking to a client, and I'm talking about like we're in the stage of ready to look for houses, right? We got to have a mental health conversation. So we're not even talking about real estate because I need to know what's going on with you. Not getting overly personal, but are you in a good mental space? Are you at peace? Do you have things in your life that are stressing you? Because in this market, it's a battle. To be
Mm.
specific to what we're dealing with right now, is you're right. There are a lot of people buying because interest rates are as good as they've been in a long time.
All-time
But
low.
there's a shortage of inventory that's available. So it's not a
Yeah.
lot of houses available, right? So what happens is every nice house that's available, if you're looking in a particular neighborhood, everybody in the neighborhood is looking at that house. And in a normal market, there's usually so many properties available that you could have two clients looking for houses in the same neighborhood, and they may never even bump into the same house.
Yeah.
But in this market, if it's nice enough, everybody is going to see it. And you have to deal with writing in, you know, seeing a property, falling in love with it, writing the best possible offer you can, and then seeing whether or not you want to lose. So it's just it's a different animal. As far as dying down, I'm gonna say no because I think the other side too is that a lot of people that have real estate licenses never do anything with them. There are a lot of people that quote unquote are new realtors that have had a real estate license for 5 or 10 years. They've just never done anything with it. And for the most part, you know, the state of Maryland is so busy with other things that they're not going to come at you and be like, man, you got this license 4 years ago and you haven't done one thing with it. Like, what's up? So you can hold on to it. And a lot of times people get it with a plan and then life happens because the thing about being a realtor, as we talked about being an entrepreneur from the beginning, is it sounds great when you're kind of dual career. So like some people will start immediately. If they got a main job that they love and they'll sell some houses on the weekend and that's how they'll break in. And then some
Mm.
people feel like I can't do it until I'm ready to do that only. So they'll sit on it. They'll sit on it. They'll sit on it. They'll pray on it. They'll read. They'll read. They'll sit. They sit. And the next thing you know, five years passes, and they say, "I've been sitting too long.
Yeah.
I got to do something. I got to do something with it." But even though that they've had it long, they don't have the prerequisite experience that goes along with it. So it's a battle when you learn something every day. So if you're emotional and you feel like you got to be the smartest person in the world and all of that, you're not going to be successful because it's no way for you to master it um, immediately. But you can become really good at what you do fast if you put the time in.
Man, so how are you feeling energy wise right now?
Um, for my clients, I'm
Like,
on a 10.
okay.
For me, I'm probably on a 4 on a scale of
So,
1 to 10.
okay. So you devoting a lot of energy obviously into biz right now.
Mm-hmm.
As you mentioned, you know, which is great, and you really haven't had any time to wind down. Um, was your last vacation 2019?
Yeah,
So you due for a vacay.
I am due for vacay. I mean, truth be told, I haven't had a day off, and I'm talking about like a day where I did not do one thing real estate related. I haven't had a day off since Christmas.
Wow. Wow. And obviously that's by choice because you know you're grinding so hard trying to build up your empire.
Well, yeah, and not just that. It's a lot of my clients need homes. So,
Yeah.
and the thing about this market is so crazy is it's a market that doesn't wait for you. So, you know, when I first got into the business, I guess it would be almost 3 years ago. Like you could see a house on Monday, sleep on it, talk to your family about it, talk to your friends about it, and then maybe by the weekend be like, I think I want to try and see if I can get it. In this market, man, you might see a house tomorrow morning. It's gone tomorrow night. So you have to. It's a consistent move. Like you got to be on it. And the one biggest change that's happening now is, and when you buying a house right now, you're buying it under a deadline. So when somebody lists a property, so the sweet spot of what they'll do is right is they'll say, all right, I got the house ready. I'm ready to list it. They're listed on a Friday, and they'll say we're gonna have a deadline of sometime on Sunday for offers, and then we're gonna make a decision on what offer we're accepting and putting on the contract by Monday. So with that
Wow.
being the case, you not only you have to see it, you have to talk to lending to make sure that you got the finances in order to see what kind of offer you can write. Strategize with the client, write the offer, and get it submitted prior to the deadline.
Man, that's super nonstop, bro. Ain't no breaks in that. Like you blink, you might miss it. Your client
Yeah,
didn't miss it on it.
and because it's your living situation, it's tough. Like it's one thing, with some of my investor clients, it's like they're looking for the right deal financially. So it may not be as aggressive initially because until you find the right deal, there's no rush. But for everybody else, like it's like, yo, I need somewhere to live. So what we gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. So no, I mean it's I don't I love my clients and I love what I do for them, and I'm gonna find a way here in the next couple of weeks to carve out some time to kind of rejuvenate. But to answer your question, yeah, I have not had a vacation since December of 2019.
And definitely take a vacation this year. To take a full week, not a 5 day as we call it, a 5 day work week. Take a full week off. Get some rest, clear your mind, have some fun. Lenny Logic, man, appreciate you for tapping in, bro. We got you coming up on I think coming up this month. Coming up this month, we're gonna bring you on because you got a dope podcast that's going on as well with your content.
Yeah, can't wait,
Bro,
can't wait.
you got to take your 7 days. I took my 7 days. It was relaxing. It was peaceful as heck. Um, However, when I came back, it was nonstop. It
Oh
wasn't.
yeah,
It wasn't okay. Jump back on the treadmill and get jogging. It was, the treadmill running full speed, so you gotta jump on that joint and just pick up the pace, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It was 0 to 100,
yeah.
like 0, next day 100, non-stop calls, non-stop emails. Yo, you gotta fix this. Yo, you gotta fix that. And I'm like, man, like I didn't even, I never experienced anything like that, and this is not my first time taking a vacation, being an entrepreneur. But it was just different, and it was weird being in a pandemic that it just spiked out of the ordinary. So that was
That's it.
it was a little different for me. It was tough mentally. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I was okay, I'm back home. Let me ease my way into work. Nah, I couldn't do that. I had to be sharp, right on it. And I'm like, man, this is I almost need another vacation.
Yo, and it's funny you say that, man, because for me, even going back to when we were young and met, trying to begin our careers and figure out what we was gonna do, like my whole brand is built off of hustle. So that's why it's hard. Like I don't want to blame business for my lack of vacation or whatever. It's who I am. If I need to take care of something for my clients, like I can, when my clients are taken care of, I can be at peace. But until they're taken care of, like because coming into your point, like you talked about in the beginning, right? There's a ton of realtors. So then, how do you separate yourself,
Hmm.
right? Like so, and going to my fine dining analogy, right? Separate from the cuisine or the actual food that you're eating at a fine dining restaurant, the other thing you do to separate yourself is the service.
Yep.
And I think what people have lost the ability of understanding is that real estate is a service based business. So you got to give good service to your people. You have to make people feel comfortable, because the thing about real estate is it's so nuanced, and it's got so many parts to it, right? That you can have an individual that in their regular job, they're one of the smartest people that they know, right? And they can get into the prospect of buying a house and not know a thing.
Yeah, yeah,
And that doesn't mean that they're not competent. That doesn't mean they ain't smart. It just means you got to take time with them. And in this business, if you're looking for an immediate angle on being successful, it's taking that time. Because most of these people, when you start to see a certain amount of money and your lifestyle starts to change a certain way, then it becomes, I'm going on vacation, whether you're happy with it or not. And that's what some of these realtors do. Some of these realtors will just tell people, I don't work in the month of June, right? Like whether they, whether the person needs to find some way to live or not, it's like, too bad, so sad. Like that's how they carry it.
wow,
And for me, that's not the space of where I am. And I want to, because you know me personally, you understand that, long term, there's so many other things I want to have my hands into. But the only way to get this to where I needed to be is I got to get in the middle of it and
yeah,
hustle it, and thug it out. But I agree with you. I'm looking forward to the moment when I can take a vacation. But I'm not looking forward to what it's going to be like after said vacation is over.
yeah, yeah. It gets crazy, man. And you spoke about mental health, um, and me knowing you personally, you spend a lot of your time giving your energy. You know, mainly, number one, your clients, because you're building a business and you're in the brand of service. Also, your family. You want to make sure your family, right? Um, you got, friends, close associates that seek to you for guidance, for consulting. I mean, shoot, let's keep it all the way. I'll run certain things past you as well. Like, yo, what do you think about this? Like, I don't see you, or I haven't seen you within the last couple of years um, take a lot of time for yourself. So I think definitely that's something that, and you mentioned that last, kind of last week when you was like, yo, I need to take some time for myself every morning. That's just my word of advice. You definitely do that. But it's only 24 hours in a day. Like, how do you manage that? How do you manage everything? Clients, because real estate don't open 24 hours. The client can hit you at 12 a.m. Like, I just seen a house. It just went up. We got to put an offer in on it like ASAP. What's your thoughts? Because 7 a.m. or whenever, things open up, everybody's on that particular crib and you trying to get your piece of it.
No, that's a fact. I mean, it's, to be honest, the thing that lacks is the self-care. Like my client, I mean, my clients will it's funny. I was with a client over the weekend and we were doing an inspection on a house before we wrote an offer, just looking for angles that we could get to win the house or whatever. Long story short, she's talking to the inspector and she like, you know what? I just realized that I don't never respect Jason's personal time. And we laughed about it because it ain't, for my clients, I'm an open book. If they, to your point, I've had clients that they work at night. So when they're available to have discussions to review property, it's at night.
Right.
So it's nothing if you texting me at 1. If I'm up, I'm gonna respond. Like it's very hard for me to see it and act like I don't see it.
Yeah.
Right. And kudos to my family, to my wife and my daughter. Because they have an understanding, but I still pockets of time for them. So, I make time for them and they understand what I'm trying to build and what I do. And years of my dedication to my family is why they don't really give me as much smoke. I feel like if, I wasn't as available, because you got to realize also you know me from business as well. My career was super hectic, right? And when I had a job, I was putting in, I mean, I put in way more hours now, but I was working day and night when I still was working, in my career.
Yeah.
So, they're so used to my dedication, but I think what I'm learning from a self-care perspective is not just fixing myself, but I got to be there for my clients. When I get on the phone with a client, like I love those phone calls when I call a client and we win. Like it's one of the best feelings in the world because we accomplished the goal, we hustled, we made it happen, right? But when you come in second place because somebody came in at the last minute on a house that's $300,000 and they came up with $300,000 cash, and you can't compete with that because it's cash.
Mm-hmm.
Having to pick up the phone and call your client and say, "Listen, we wrote a hell of an offer. You did a great job on this. This guy just pulled out $300,000-$400,000 cash out of his pocket. There's nothing you can do about it. You
Right.
didn't do anything wrong. You're a hard worker. Your credit's good. Your income is good. Those are the conversations that are more so draining because sometimes it's almost like, when kids see their parents fight, they start to think it's over them. In real estate, when agents are fighting over a house and you come in second, sometimes the client will start to think it's them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I ain't work hard enough. Maybe I'm not hustling enough. Maybe my credit not good enough. And it's not. It's just the market that we in is crazy. So, salute to my family for, working with me and understanding what it is and I'm attempting to build. Um, and that's what keeps me grounded. But to your point, um, I've gotta I've got to do a far better job of managing my self care, which in the long term will be better for my clients.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think to that point, as far as for me, my struggle, um, I'm good with the household. Obviously, I'm good with biz is biz. My struggle comes in with spending and dedicating time to others outside of my four walls in my house.
Mm.
That's what I struggle at. And it's not that it's not that I don't want to, hang out with somebody or, give somebody my time. Um, I'm in a space or I'm actually in a situation and if we want to keep it all the way 100, where I can spend time with one person that's been, we've been talking about hooking up for the past 12 months. I finally hook up with him. Next person over here mad that I hooked up with him. Yo, what about me? Yo, you ain't tell
Right,
me.
right,
Oh, I could
right,
have came out.
right,
So now I got you over here upset because I didn't invite you. I got you over here like, yo, we gonna get up. When we gonna get up? I'm like, man, y'all might don't have no other time until like 4 months from now. So then it put me in a bag like, yo, do I want to not hang? Is either y'all gonna like it the way it is, or I ain't hanging out with nobody.
right. That's a fact.
Nobody gonna get my time, and I don't want to be like that, yo. Like, and I'm talking to you on some real stuff, man. Yo, I don't want to be like that, and and this is me all the way 100, man. I want to get to everybody, but it's freaking tough. It's tough when you're running a business and you got family and you're trying to give everybody. I wouldn't say people pleasing, but you try to kick it with everybody. It was not enough time in the day. Um, it's no person that has enough energy to even do all of that and give everything 100%. Like it was almost impossible, bro.
Well, I think the other side of it is, man, you got to find ways to creatively. First off, you got to be comfortable with having conversations with people about where you are. Because sometimes we don't. You first off, you got to understand entrepreneurship isn't for our generation isn't like a common practice. Like it's starting to be, but it isn't. Like I feel like, maybe our grandparents' generation, you might have had, black people that couldn't find jobs that then created situations to have businesses and it was handled. And then we moved into the generation of working. And it's basically you go to whatever job you have, you give them a certain amount of hours, and then your free time is free for family, whatever you want to do, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now when you get into an entrepreneurship space, especially when you have spoiled your family with, regardless of how hard you worked in your career, you got to think back and realize when you still had a job, there was a start and an end time,
Yeah.
right? So even for family, they could mentally conceptualize and say, all right, man, so Rell probably not gonna be home until like 6 or 7, you know what I mean, when he get home from the job. So I'm gonna call him at 7. Right. So at least in their mind, you were able to float through your work day because they like, I can't bother this guy. He's at work. Now all of a sudden, you have a job where you set the time, like you run the business, you pay you, which is the American dream. So then people that care about you is like I don't understand why you can't answer the phone. Like you work for you.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know, when you at work, you can say, man, listen, man, my supervisor just walked over here. Yo, I'm gonna call you. Now you're your supervisor. So the person on the end is like, yo, you must not want to talk to me because like you run the business. You want to fire you for taking 10 minutes to talk to me? That's... So you got to have a conversation with the people close to you that's outside of your house. And then there are other things you can do. Like there's a site called, I'll put you on some game. It's a site called THNKS. So it's like thanks without the A. And if you go on THNKS, you can send little small things to people. So like if you got a family member that's on your mind and you know they in the coffee or something like that, you can wake up in the morning after you had your prayer time, exercise or whatever you do, and you can send them a little voucher to go to Starbucks for a free cup of coffee. Yo, you was on my mind. I'm super swamped. Don't want you to ever think I don't care about you, man. Have your morning coffee on me. And it's a multitude of different things. Sometimes it can be lunch, whatever. But there's so many different ways that we can be there for people that we care about. And then also having a conversation with them about and explaining them, you don't have to get into detail, but explaining the structure of your business, especially seeing as though that, prime example, in my business, how my workday is going to go is dictated by the market. The market is nuts right now. So whether you feel like I'm an entrepreneur or not, my hours is going to be whatever they're going to be. So when things slow down again, I may be able to have conversations with those who I care about and say, yo, the reason why I'm calling a little bit more now ain't because I'm phony. It's because I now am getting back to a work-life balance level that I'm used to. And if people don't want to accept it once you tell them, then that's fine. But you got to be able to manage the work-life balance aspect and letting people know what you're also talking to them about, what you're pushing for. Because the thing that we started this podcast about is we're not doing what we do to quote unquote, just start a business. We're not looking to have a job that we can't be fired from. Our whole brand is built off of excellence, right? So, and you and your industry and me and mine, we're pushing to create something so that there is a legacy for our children to follow, to show that, Black and brown people can be just as successful as anyone.
Absolutely.
And having that dialogue with people and just leaving it there, because you're not going to be able to please everybody. But to your point, the thing you said is you got to make peace with the fact that if the only people that are happy with you are the people in your four walls, you got to make peace with the fact that maybe that's good enough.
Yeah, man. And to add to that, another thing is, I people who know me know that I had a big circle and now I got a smaller circle, right? I still got love for everybody, right? So, now I'm like focused on my smaller circle, but I got love for everybody. But sometimes that person who I may have not had time for or something like that, I got so much on my mind, so much I'm dealing with. They're not even nowhere on my radar, so I forget. So when something happened with somebody else, they see it, and they're like, whoa, wait, what's going on? Well, he don't rock with me? And I'm like, and then, I might catch the tail end through somebody or somebody. Or I might get a comment, and then it triggers back like, oh, snap, I did tell that person we was going to hook up for lunch or for dinner or for breakfast. I completely forgot about it. Then the whole thing will play in my mind like, oh, they probably doing this, that. Man, so I think that's I mean, what you're saying is 100% correct, man. But it's so many people who, you know, want to chop it up with me that I rock with, man, that sometimes it's just off the radar. You know, I just completely forget.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something I stole from somebody. As a matter of fact, I think it was yesterday. So they were having the same dilemma, right? And how they dealt with it was they on the phone with the individual, the person want to get together, and they said, "Listen, I appreciate what you're saying. Stop right now. We need to have this conversation over lunch. What is it? Yo, I'm busy the next 7 Fridays or whatever." So they spent the last 5 minutes of their conversation talking through times, and then it was like, "All right, we're gonna get together from 6 to 7 on July 12th, and we'll check in maybe a week before just to ensure that nothing's changed in our schedules." So at least in that moment, it was if I'm really doing this, and I'm not just as we talk about, you know, the old Martin episode, Varnell Hill.
Varnell
Hill. You know, if I'm not Varnell Hilling you and giving you a date that I never intend on going to,
yeah.
Locking in the calendar and doing it makes it more peaceful and easy for you. Because the people that are in your life that don't understand what's going on, what they're not seeing is you can really have intentions to get with them. And then all HE double hockey sticks rolls out in your business
all the time.
And you like, yo, I'm scrambling right now. Like I'm on it. Like, listen, we had when we did our show last week, I'm dealing with an issue with a client, and it happens to blow up 10 minutes before we about to get on. So now I have to juggle. All right, let me hurry up and deal with this for them, and then I gotta get on. I can't be crazy late, because then my guy gonna be on there like, where's Hall? Right? So it's just balancing it out, man, and you know, making peace with the fact that and one thing I learned from you and your journey is early on, one thing I noticed that you did that I don't see you do anymore is you used to give like mission statements to people you loved. Like you would do a whole campaign saying, listen, I love all of you. I care about you. I want to talk to you. I want to hear about what you're doing, but I'm trying to build something to be there for my family. So I might go dark a little bit. It don't mean I don't love you. It don't mean I'm not going to be there for you. And I think that helped curb some of the issues because people would then be like, okay, I see where he comes from. I think since then, you've gotten so busy, and you got to realize too, when we were younger, you were such an outgoing and charismatic individual that, I mean, you would make it was nothing on a Saturday and the weekend. If 5 people you know was having barbecues within 2 hours, you're going to make it to all 5.
Yeah, facts.
Right?
Facts.
It's hard to go from, yo, he can't, bro, was at your joint, he was at mine too, to last time I saw his dude, his daughter was 5. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's hard, and when you don't have conversations with people for them to know the change, then they sitting back like, yo, dude, don't mess with me no more. And you know how we go. I think sometimes that we're spoiled in our relationship, and we have some close friends that operate similarly where I might not talk to you for 5 days. Don't mean that you ain't my guy. Don't mean that this ain't our show. None of that. We both on a mission, and there's no hard feelings, but that's because we can relate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To everybody else, when they get off at 5 o'clock, they like, why is he not off?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's different. So let me ask you. I'm gonna flip the script on you. Let me ask you this.
Let's do it.
So, how did you deal with starting a business and knowing the consequences that were going to come, where you weren't going to be as readily available, where you weren't going to talk to certain people, and knowing that there's going to be certain collateral damage, and you'll make the people within the 4 walls of your house happy, but you may potentially ruin other relationships that you care about?
Man, that's a great question. I think a lot of that part to that question came before me starting the business. Once my daughter was born, and I was let go from my job, my 9 to 5. It made me look at life. It made me look around me. Um, you said it. I was an outgoing, charismatic person. Um, but I started to notice that I was giving everybody my energy, and I had no time for myself. I had no energy for myself. I mean, me and wife would go out, whenever. It wasn't no real planned or structured thing. Like, yo, this date we going out for lunch, and we taking Jade with us. It was just, yo, when you got time, or when she had time, we would just do it. So I had to make the decision early on, that my household got to come first, and I had to make a selfish decision, and I had to be comfortable with that selfish decision, and I knew the ramifications that was going to come behind it. I knew people would be like, "Oh, yo, Rell don't, Rell this, Rell that." I knew that was going to come, but I was looking at my future like, bro, I'm gonna have to sacrifice. I'm gonna have to sacrifice something for me to make these dreams come true. And am I going to sacrifice time with all my friends, over family and business? Like, yo, my friends, if they really my friends, they gonna understand. So I made that decision in 2012, and that's when I kind of not really went dark, but started moving a little bit different. Not really hanging out as much, molded into the family man. And when I started my business, it was already set up for me to just focus on biz, because I was 2 years of moving the way I was moving, just with a close knit of people, close knit of family members, and focus on the mission. So in 2014, when I when I launched my business, man, it was all right, cool. I'm focused on me, focus on this business, families first. Whoever else want to join the journey, and I see y'all when I see y'all. That's what it is. I ain't people say, people can call it ruthless. People can say, yo, narcissistic, narcissist, or whatever the case might be. I got to a point where I ain't care. You can call it selfish, or whatever the case might be. But I feel like, yo, if you got a dream, if you got something that you really trying to push for, bro, you gotta block out all the noise. If it's family that you gotta tune out from, that's sucking your battery down, draining your battery, yo, you might gotta tune them out for a little bit. Even if it's your mom, if it's your dad, your sister, your brother. And yeah, I got ramifications behind that. I'm still dealing with ramifications behind it. It ain't easy. But yo, it's what I signed up for. I didn't think it was going to go this crazy. I will say that. I thought I'll be able to navigate it a little bit better. It has been challenging. But yo, I'm pretty much just built for it, bro. I'm just weaving through it, making time for people when I can. And like, oh man, I made time for them. I know this other person gonna be mad. Oh, it is what it is. And even when I started my biz, man, I knew, I was like, yeah, certain people who I ain't hang around them, man, I know they ain't gonna support this venture. So I already got it in my mind that friends and family, they might not share it out. Okay, it is what it is. I had to be comfortable with that as well. And me and you had a conversation. You was like, yo, the way you're moving and that you got your biz, that you might not get support like you like you typically would. I'm like, yo, I'm good with that. I'll find support elsewhere. I'll find other strangers and people that'll support the mission, man. So that's what I've been doing. It's been crazy. From the outside looking in, and then I'll link it with my guy E Vapors. That's the out of towner from out of nowhere. I know that looked nuts. Like,
Yeah.
yo, he don't even know this dude. How he took up with him?
How you got time for him?
Yo, he the bro now. And yo, look, I'm putting it all out here because we gonna keep it 1,000, right? I'm putting it all out. So I know that it may be somebody look out there saying that. Real right now, like, yo, it's a part of the mission. It's a part of the biz. So Hey, it is what it is. I understand you feel like that, yo, and yo, I don't have anything for that, bro.
I think that's. Hold on. Let's see. We got a question from Sella. Let's see. Hold on. Can you
You want me to read it?
yeah, read the question.
And say for you both, how do you deal with family or close friends that may knock your goals and act different as your status rise? You know, I just really alluded to that, Sella. I knew it was gonna come. I knew it was gonna come. And when it came, I almost already expected it for it to happen. That people may say, you know, behind your back, oh, you think you this, or you think you that, because you doing this, or you with this person, or you with that person, or you know, you making these type of moves. Mentally, I had to prepare myself for it in advance. So when it happened, I just dealt with it. Is it easy to still navigate around it? And you know, people might say slick stuff when you come around them, and you just gotta put that armor shield around you and just really expect it because it's going to happen. Every successful person, every person that you know reached their goals, they dealt with it. It's going to happen. It's going to be the strangers, as you see, Sally. You out in the YouTube world now. You know you probably rock with strangers that you met in the YouTube world more than you know your close family members. It's going to happen. It just is what it is. You know. What you got for that, Hall?
Yeah. So Sella, what I would say is first off, if people close to you don't knock your goals, then your goals aren't big enough. So you know
Facts.
it's to be expected that people are going to knock your goals, um, you know, and say that you act different, but that's okay. That's because you're getting better. Now you can, you know, depending upon the personalities, you got to manage it. You can talk to them and see if you think you can reason with them. But at the end of the day, you got to get to where you got to get to. And then in certain cases, you got to weave in your journey to them. So, for example, you know, if you talking to one of these people that's not your business and maybe you take them to dinner and they eating good and y'all having a good time, man, it's a nice place to, you know, have dinner, et cetera, et cetera. You got to be able to stop them right then and there and say, hey, you don't know I'm building is what led me to this, right? And help to walk them through it because this is a part of what it happens. And I think for me, the sweet spot is I don't believe in what I see in some of these CEOs. You know, some of these CEOs, they'll lose their family, their spouses, or whoever else over business. I'm not going to say I condone that. But to the theme of this conversation, whoever's in the four walls of your house, as long as y'all on the same page and y'all working and y'all can work through that, that's all that matters. If people want to knock you, that's good. That means you're doing something right. You should want them to continue to say that you acting different and you acting funny because that means you're going to build something. And as soon as you build it, what's going to happen is the narrative is going to change. And it's going to be like, man, I remember when you jumped off the porch and you know, you started that. Listen, this other person on the other side of this call, we not gonna get too deep because it ain't for this platform. But I watched this guy start his business, and I'm like, I always thought that person was gonna support you. They not gonna support you. I remember he started selling merch because he was trying to build a brand
Yeah,
name in the area,
yeah,
right? So he went and spent a bunch of money and had merch and just went to people and said, listen, you don't even need to tell you know anybody about my business, anything. Just buy this.
yep.
That's it.
And it
And
was for
that's
a low amount, very
right.
low.
It was super nominal and inexpensive, and a bunch of us as friends had got it. You know, we
Yep.
used it when we were together. But people that he had always thought was going to purchase it was like, man, that ain't for me. Like, I don't, you know, like it was rejection. But in that moment, that's when I realized from a distance, like, oh, you got something. Because everybody that I've seen that's had something that people assume was super small and that was insignificant, oh, the love is through the roof. Oh, you
Mm-hmm.
selling snowballs outside your house? Oh yeah, I'm gonna support you. I got mad love for you. Like, you're cool. Try to build a snowball business that's direct competition for readers, and see if people don't knock your goals, or see if people don't feel like you think you better. You know what I mean? Like so it's a different animal. But for me personally, all I can say is I want all the smoke. So please say that it's not gonna work. Everything about me was built from the bottom, so I thrive under conditions of you believing I'm gonna fail.
Yeah, it's already expected.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's switch it up then.
Okay.
So like let me ask you this. In your journey, that's a fact, Stella. Your inner circle don't support, but well, your inner circle supports after you win.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, so stand on this topic for a moment.
Okay.
So how do you navigate when you've been working really hard and things are good and you finally get around family and get around other people and so on and so forth and everything is good, and you realize that people have an issue with you because the only people they see you talk to is e-vapors and me. So how you deal with that?
Yo, that's crazy. So, man, that's a good question. Um, okay. I don't know 100% that people feel like that because it hasn't been brought to my attention.
Okay.
So, until it's brought to my attention and somebody says something, I don't address it. Yeah, E-Vapors in here with the googly eyes.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
See,
look. Hey,
listen, you
E-Vapors,
already
look,
know.
man. We talk probably more than me and Jay, me and Hall.
Yeah, listen. And you already know, first off, E-Vapors know the love I got for him, and you know that our relationship isn't built on that insecurity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But E-Vapors, he from North Carolina. Don't nobody know him from a can of paint. Yet every time I open up my phone, who this E-Vapors guy? Who is this? Because you gotta understand, to answer your question, those inquiries won't ever come to you. They'll come to me.
Ah, hey, yo, we keeping it all the way 100 right
We
now.
keep it up. Listen, it is what it is.
Let's
They
do
never
it.
you'll never know, because those things come to me because it's a situation where when people take for granted. I went to a dinner event for a mutual friend of ours. And when I went and seen him, like, it was all love. He was great. You were working. I was taking a break from work to pop in, drop him a gift or whatever, and it was cool. But that was after years of growth, because this is somebody that, if this relationship with you and E-Vapors happens 5 years ago, my phone is going crazy, and it's like, yo, who is dude, right? And the thing is, for people don't, I'm gonna let 30 seconds of a secret out about you is, you a peaceful guy.
Yeah,
It ain't a lot of flash. It's chill. You're a family man, right? So yeah, we had fun and did things when we were younger, but we adults.
yeah,
So the vibe is different, but you have to understand, everybody's cool with you being a family man. Now all of a sudden, you with Mr. Tesla, North Carolina man, and he's on the golf course every 5 minutes. And so now the people that's here is like, I gotta see who dude is or whatever. So then they see me talk to E-Vapors, and it's like, I I'm a slightly deal with dude, because if Hall like him, but even still, why is that? I say all of this to say, you navigating through all of this while still trying to run your business,
mm-hmm.
right? And you gotta understand where we come from. I'm gonna be very regional and specific right now. Where we come from in Baltimore is very local and loyal, right? So we loyal to a fault here. Like, if something go, like, we loyal until someone gives us a reason to not be loyal.
Mm-hmm.
right? So how do you navigate and manage that some people may feel like you spending more time with e-vapors than them now makes you disloyal?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
It's a
How it is.
it's a different animal. And you know how things go up here. Like there's no and salute the e-vapors, man. I love him responding to the smoke in the comments.
Hey,
Like,
let me know if you can jump on E, if you're ready.
yeah,
If you,
we'd love to tap him in, yo, if he can. Um, but it's a and salute, man. I see my my bro Warren cousin in here, Greg. Greg, I see you, man. You super successful. You getting a lot of money out here, Greg. I see your business building great. And when I get some time, man, we gonna talk. I like what you're doing in the HVAC field, man. We definitely got rap.
let me see if I can send send a request.
Cool. Yeah, send Mr. Supercharger uh a request, man, and pull him in here.
Yeah, we talking real stuff right now. Y'all getting behind the curtains right now. This behind the curtains, man. But all of it.
Salute, Greg.
Yo, we got love for everybody. You know,
Hey.
what Mr. Tesla?
Nah, I'm Mr. Snickers.
Okay, sneakers today. Okay.
I want real man.
Hey, what's good, man? Look, I need y'all to do one thing, man. If y'all on this live, if y'all watching the replay, I need y'all to go to Car Talk TV and watch the episode we had last night with Godspeed.
Yeah, ASAP. ASAP.
Watch that.
Yeah, we had a lot of great talks with a lot of great people.
Yeah, man.
Man, I came in on it. I was telling Rell earlier, E-Vapors, man, not to cut you off, bro. I came in towards the end of it last night, and it was great. I'm gonna go back and watch it from the beginning when we off ahead, man. That was a very powerful, and y'all was giving up a lot of game in there too.
Listen,
Hey.
I'm gonna go on record. Some people might be mad at me, but definitely that's one of the most iconic probably live we did so far, bro.
Ooh, you putting a lot of pressure on some of that. Y'all have had some good ones.
Yo, we had some good ones, bro. Like it went so good. We jumped off YouTube and went on IG for like 2.5 hours.
But baby, listen, I told Rell, man, I was doing some work when y'all went live on YouTube. So I opened up my phone. I thought my phone was broke. Cause I'm like, E-Vapors and them on live. I'm like, man, it's almost 11 o'clock at night, man. My phone capturing the joint from earlier. So when I tapped in, I'm like, oh, they've been going in for hours?
Yeah.
Nah, it was definitely love, man. But I'm glad that you was able to tap in as the man that stole Car Show Rell from the city of Baltimore.
Man, don't say that, man. So as you've been hearing the conversation, man, we've been keeping it real, I guess, since yesterday. We keeping that energy going, Godspeed. We keeping it real. So you know, we were talking about man, yo, when I guess you click up with certain people or you link with certain people, you know, other people who may have known you for a longer period of time, you know, they might get upset or they feel some type of way that you ain't giving them that same energy. And they feel like, you know, you don't rock with them as much no more and everything like that. And, you know, that's what led to us talking about, you know, building the brand. Like I'm building a brand with a dude from North Carolina that I just met off YouTube because we vibe together.
Yeah.
Versus me clicking up with somebody who I knew for years.
Yeah, man. First off, Dr. M3, man, is in here. Really, really good guy, man. Smart brother, man. Does a lot of stuff with the supercars, the hypercars, and he's a electric guy too. So
yeah, shout out to Dr. M3. I've been watching him for years, man.
Tesla guy, Mr. Tesla.
Tesla. He Mr. Supercar, Mr.
I like
I8.
that.
He had the i8 when the i8 first dropped.
Yeah, Dr. M3 had one of the first i8s in the entire country. One of the first ones he had it. So that's a good brother, man. Great role model, man. Does a lot of positive things, man. But man, I was listening to the conversation, right, man, and I'm following God's plan. So I don't even have a choice but to connect with Kasha Rell. I'm so convinced that I'm following God's plan that I pay attention and I listen and I look for signs. There is no way the things that I needed to get accomplished in business, all the people around me in North Carolina, nobody would do it. Nobody would do those things. Here comes a stranger from Baltimore that's talking about things that I want to do that I've never met. I said, okay, God, there goes a sign right. I need about 2 more just to know that it's you and it's not some collard greens that I ate last night that made me feel some kind of way. So we started talking, man, like, dang, we both was in the military. Oh, wow, that's crazy. And we both went through a transition where we both was driving a white Honda Civic. God is so amazing. Me and Rell both went through a transition period with cars that we were both driving a white Honda Civic around the same time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm a fast forward it to even more recently. I bought a white Jetta. Out of the blue, my wife saw a white Jetta on base and was like, yo, you looking for a get around car to go with the I-8? I'm like, yeah. So we bought it. I'm talking to Kasha Rell and he's like, yo, I got a white Jetta. I said, I already didn't need no more signs, man, but it just extra confirmed that I'm following God's plan. I'm supposed to be connected to Kasha Rell, man. Everything that we do, man, been nothing but love, man. So, and in the Bible, it clearly says, with blessings comes envy. We don't have no choice but to accept the envy that comes with the blessings. So I don't have a choice but to accept that, man. And I think once people meet me, you should have your guards up. I'm from the hood too. You got to have your guard up immediately. Protect your people that you care about. So but as you're protecting them and you get to know the people that they bring around them, it's just like, oh man, he all right, man, he cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We ain't this time. We'll let him live. That's what we say. Hey, let him live, man.
Right.
Hey, he good, man. Let E-Vapors in. I'm like, huh? Let me live. Well, shoot, I don't know if I want to come in or not. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and last thing with that sign, I had a point in my life where I was going to make a major compromise. Like, I don't use profanity, right? So I was going to, I do comedy. I do stand-up comedy, right? So I said, okay, all of the hot comedians are cursing. So I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to curse for a little while, get put on, because I know I'm funny. And when I add the cussing, it's going to be game over. So it's some open night comedy clubs in New York that I was planning on to go to. So boom, I'm driving to New York. First time in my life, I'm making a compromise. And my car broke down. Guess where it broke down at?
Baltimore.
My car broke down in Baltimore.
Wow.
My car broke down in Baltimore. Guess where my spiritual father that I trust more than anybody. Guess where my spiritual father, my current pastor, guess where he's from? Take a guess.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Wow.
And he a big time OG Baltimore, you know what I mean? He older than us, you know what I'm saying? So he from the early Baltimore, street days, you know what I'm saying? Playing stick ball in the streets of Baltimore as a young kid. He tell me all these stories about early Baltimore. And I said, man, I don't need no more confirmation, man. So yeah, hopefully, man, I can earn some respect and love from Baltimore people, man, because I'm gonna be up there, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm gonna be up there in July. So man, I would love to meet some of y'all, man. I got a lot of respect for Baltimore, my pastors from Baltimore, and just my pivotal moment in life where I did not compromise. I broke down in Baltimore, and I still went to New York, but I did not do the cursing stand up.
So first off, while we got you, babies, I'm looking forward to you coming up in July. I don't know when you come in, but I'm gonna finagle some things around to see you in person. And now that I'm blessed by accident to have the two hosts of Car Talk TV here, I'm just gonna ask a very difficult question. So, Kasha Rell, how are you able to manage E-Vapor's emerging stardom? Because I'm watching these different pages that he's creating, whether it's the Tesla page or some of these other pages, and he's becoming one of the more prominent people on YouTube And mind you, I know you personally, so I know what you built on, but I want the people, I want the people on here to hear. How do you manage that, right? Because this will be the prime time. Like, let's say I was a hater. I could call you, and you know how, like your wife is my sister. If I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be a hater, I could call you and say, hey, your man E-Vape is getting kind of big, yo. Like, what's going on? He leaving you behind? What's up? So how do you manage him taking off like that?
Man, that's a great question. If anybody peeped that, man, you know, shout out to y'all if y'all peeped that. You know, especially people who know me. People know me as being the spotlight, right? But what they don't know is that the spotlight is the past me. So what I want people to think about is they think about me since I started my business, or me since I stopped doing car shows. Think about the transition I made. Think about it. Have you seen me on the scene? Have you seen me wanting spotlight? Have you seen me being loud, saying, "Yo, look at me, Mr. Forgiato, or Mr. Benz, or Mr. Bentley"? Have you seen me showboating? Or have you seen me more of, he different now? He ain't as loud as he used to be. He ain't as cocky as he used to be. He a little humble. I don't know if it's an act. No, it's real. And yo, just the person. I think it's just the person I evolved into. That I don't want the spotlight. I prefer the spotlight not to be on me. You know, when it comes to this YouTube thing, I'm on YouTube to document, not create. If I become a big YouTube sensation, cool, but I'm not on it to do that. I'm on YouTube to create my just to leave my mark in the you know, in the system. What up, Pat? As far as E-Vapors, after we did our first couple lives, I already seen that he was a superstar. And we had a conversation offline, and I'll say it publicly. I said, bro, you got the game on lock right now. I'm just coming back to you. I'm just getting back really on YouTube as me. I'm coming back to social media as me. I've been gone for 3-4 years from off that. So don't nobody really know who I am except people, you know, in this region. I'm like, bro, you've been doing these, you know, you've been scurry fast and all that type of stuff. I say, yo, this is what we gonna do. You take all the spotlight, and I'm gonna just be there. I'm like, yo, us together, yeah, we the dream team. I'm like, but you know, the role we play in this thing, the way that I see the interactions, the way how I see people come at you more than me, yo, let's play off each other's strengths. Not let, yo, I need to be Jordan. E-Vapors, yo, next time we go, I'm gonna rent the car, and you gonna ride with me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ride with you. You gonna ride with me. I'm gonna do all the racing. I'm gonna do
all. First off, let me slow you down. You're doing too much now, man. You can't be a boss and rent a car. That's what the internet told me. Yo, the internet told me that you can't be a boss and rent a car. That means you poor.
You can't fly to another state and rent a car?
Hold on.
That's what the internet told me.
Let me get my thing off. Let me get my thing off. As Joe Button says.
Yeah.
Let me get my thing off. But yeah, so I ain't on that, yo. I don't need a spotlight. I'm like, yo, E-Vapors, he doing his thing. Yo, you be MJ. I told him this. I said, yo, you MJ, I'm Pippin. And when it's time to flip the script, and you know, maybe the topic or whatever the case might be, the guest is more my lane that I probably should run the show.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
For the most part, you know, the way we built the brand, yo, is you know, it's definitely 50-50. But E-Vapors is more of the star. And I'm completely comfortable with that, bro. That's just who I am right now, yo. So as crazy as it sounds, I really don't care. We both winning. In real life, on social media, YouTube. I don't care if you get a look. He always say this. He like, yo, if I get 1 million, you get 1 million. I'm like, yeah, you right. I'm like, yo, but we know this. You know, the way things are built. Like, yo, you gonna rise more than me just because of who you are. Like, I'm charismatic, but it doesn't. I guess I'm not moving in the way to show that on social media as much, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's my long answer to that. To answer your second question, yo, you ain't a boss if you rent a car, man. You know how many clients I got that's bosses, that's millionaires, billionaires that rents cars from me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know you joking, Hall, but yo, people got to get out of that mentality, man.
Yeah.
I got a guy down in Miami, man, that I'm real good with, and I might ask him like, yo, you know what type of client base you got? And he was like, man, I got all types of NFL. He like, man, I got millionaires and billionaires too, NFL players that got Lambos back home.
Yeah.
But instead of them trailing down their Lamborghini, they come to me and they rent mine for a day or two.
Yeah.
Yo,
So who goes to the exotic rental companies? Regular 9 to 5 low income people are not their clientele. So if there are exotic rentals on all these places, who's renting the exotic cars?
Well, me just, listen, I defer to you guys on these topics, man. And I'm so green. The internet had taught me that when you're a boss, you trailer your cars. And if you're traveling, you take them there and then you drive them, right? Because there's never been a such thing as an individual with a supercar or with any form of wealthy sort of vehicle that was broke. Because that's what the internet tells me, right? The internet says that you ain't supposed to do that. But to your point, what I love what in the response to Rell God is, where I was leading us to is, we just got to get out of pocket watching on the internet.
Oh, no.
Like, we got to get out of pocket watching on the internet. You know when you lay your head on the bed at night if you're getting money or not. That's got to be good enough. Don't worry about who's ordering what, who's opening, who's renting here, where did you stay, what kind of steak did you eat, what kind of shoes are those. We getting, that's how 5 years pass and you wake up in your 50s and 60s and all of that, and you haven't done anything because you're so caught up in watching what everyone else has done. And kudos to you, Rell, because I have not heard an influencer on any platform ever say, well, one time I rent the car and the next time he went.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to get on the internet. You?
Why not? Why? Cause look, that trip right there, I'm gonna say we was gonna kill them with 2 exotics.
Yeah, we was.
We was gonna kill them with 2 exotics, and we had all that was planned out. We was gonna kill them with 2. We was gonna pull up 2 exotics back then. You know what I mean? Just make a big name, big splash. And we was like, man, we're gonna be together the whole time. It's like, let's be smart. Like I like you see Mason Puff in the video, can't nobody hold us. They together in the same car. They not in 2 cars. I'm like, bro, we need to be in the same car, making moves. And I'm glad we did, because some of them places, man, it was hard to get from this place to that place. Big old small parking lots with a bunch of cars. If we would have had 2 cars, we would have been like separated.
Yeah.
And the conversations inside the car. Yep. We're talking for an hour. It was an hour drive to one location, to Arlington. Another 45 minutes to Ennis, and then another 45, 50 minutes back downtown Dallas. So we spent a lot of time in the car together, talking, planning. He's loading stuff on social media while I'm driving. So he's creating content for Car Talk TV. So we couldn't have done that in 2 cars.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that when you take the emotions out of it, 2 men can work together like a well-oiled machine with no egos and no emotions, right? Because in business, you can't be emotional. Yeah. Now, I got to jump into my next myth, right? Because E-Vapors can't be paying his bills with all them shoes behind him. He can't. He can't be paying his bills, right? Because when you buy shoes, that means that your kids ain't taken care of. That means your wife ain't taken care of. Your business struggling because you're putting your money into the wrong places.
Yeah.
So, which once again, more pocket watching. And listen, don't get it confused. Like anybody, I said in the old video of yours, man, and you pulled out some shoes that you had just found, and I had to go back in the lab because I was like, wait, when did those come out? Like, what year did I miss it? And I think you ended up selling them. I want to say they was some retro. I think you ended up selling them. And I was like, yo, what year did them with them? And I was like, you know what? This guy's pretty crafty at defying the myths. because I'm told that we don't handle the right things. And the message that I want to get for, I'm always make my jokes, that's who I am. But the message I want to get across to people is the thing that I see in the venture that you guys have, and even in business ventures that I've had with Rell myself in the past, is when you take the emotions out of business and you just focus on doing your thing together and winning, and you genuinely want, like when I see you guys do interviews with people, y'all are genuinely playing off of each other, and you want him to win and he wants you to win, so it comes across great. Some of these platforms and things that I watch, you can tell where you got one dude that's taking off because he opinionated, and he might be kind of funny, he might be a fly dresser, and you got the other dude that's kind of like, where you can see the look where it's like, yo, that's my man or whatever, but he ain't smarter than me. He ain't been in the card game longer than I have been. And I love that you guys inspire people. Every time I log on to something with Car Talk, I think y'all gonna be on there talking about everything car related. And it's somebody in there talking about how much cars in general has changed their life and so on and so forth. And just the message I want to get from us having you on here, E-Vapors, is like-minded people. Like-minded people matter. And where I'm from, loyalty is thicker than blood. So before we let E-Vapors go, have you had an opportunity to see his brand new Tesla page that's about to take off? And because I'm gonna be honest, man, like no disrespect to y'all, I like y'all cool, right? I've been on that Tesla page more than Car Talk. I ain't gonna hold you. like I'm in there, like I'm living through him. Like, do I need to pull the trigger and make an irresponsible decision? So let me watch him. I done seen he had something where he was in camping mode the other day. Like I've been tuned in. Like I'm watching that. Like I used to watch the Cosby back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's but you was going to ask a question. You was rounding up.
I was asking Rell. Have you been on the page yet?
Of course, yo.
Listen, man. I had to ask you. Listen, man. You told me what's your.
You will see me under the comments. All you gotta do is look under the comments, man. You'll see me in there, handshakes. Oh, yo, that's crazy. Like, come on now, man. That's what we do. We support each other.
Yeah, that's a fact. I love how he posted the Tesla box on the table with the charge on it or whatever. I love I didn't even know the other car was gone. Like, I mean, I can't even keep up with y'all shell game, man. I ain't even know. I'm like, yo, where did the Tesla come from? Then there was an old school in there. Like, I can't keep up on it.
Yeah. The 83 Monte Carlo will be here July 17th. I'm gonna pick it up in Mechanicsville, Maryland at a race event. So I plan to race the Tesla at that event, and they're gonna present me the Monte Carlo at the track event because they're one of the sponsors of the event with Donkmaster.
Oh, okay. I might have to come out of my hole and experience y'all world.
And guess how did I meet the people that's putting my car together? Guess how I met ARC Motorsports in Clinton, Maryland?
How was that?
Through Car Show Rell, man. Come on.
Yeah, he is. He is everything. Nah, I can't say it on this live, but he's a very talented individual.
Yeah, don't say that.
He's a very talented individual.
Come on, man. I didn't know nobody up there like that. I wouldn't have known them guys.
Yeah. You asked me like, yo, what you think?
Yeah.
Like, yo, they work. I vouch for
it. Yeah. So I wouldn't know them guys, man, had it not been for Car Show Rell, man, and the relationship that we have, man. And as far as like spotlight and stuff like that, man, we're an actual business, right? Like, so we actually are a business. We're LLC. See, I know people that do quote unquote shows and different things, and they've never sat down and talked about the legal aspects of it. Man, what would have happened if this thing take off and money start coming in? We did legal paperwork, business paperwork first. We did legal business paperwork first, And then we started doing the car talk, and we've already talked about everything is down the middle, man. So if they, I told Car Show, I said, if they, whoever they is, if they want me, if NBC want me, and I'm the only one sitting on NBC stage, or I'm sitting somewhere with Shannon Sharp or somewhere, and they pay me 100,000, Car Show get 50 of that. That's us. I'm us.
Mhm.
He's us. You know what I mean? It's Car Talk TV related. That's us.
Yep.
So you might say, dang man, E-Baby's on Left Car Show. He on ESPN. Man, they came to Car Talk TV and they wanted me, and they're gonna pay me $100,000. Car Show get 50, man. They might well send out 1099.
And that's exactly where you man, fan, you always know what to say and when to say it. That's exactly where I was going with it. This entire conversation was leading into understanding that in business, if you just do business the right way, with the right intentions, there's no ego, and y'all just have the goal of winning, no one cares who takes off.
Nope.
You know, where Rell, you know, I'll share 30 seconds of my history with Rell. When Rell was at his height, I was in the role that he is with you.
That's
I didn't care. I didn't care. I don't care like I don't care, yo, you know, that's your man just bought this. He just did that. I will tell you, one time I made a mistake and I pulled up at the Benz dealer with my man because he bought a Benz. So I had to buy a Benz. And my man said, listen, stop messing with Rell. He on a different level. His savings ability is different than yours. You getting money, but it ain't your time yet. And I fell back. So I almost fell prey to it once. But all jokes aside, it's the same situation.
Yep.
I wanted him to win. It's the same thing. I wanted him to win. I didn't care about no popularity contest or any of that. And I could see that in y'all relationship separately because there's no jealousy. Y'all want each other to win. Paperwork is in order, which I want to understand that in most of these ventures, there's no paperwork in order. There's no honor, there's no ethics, there's no business. And I get that sometimes you may start something not thinking about monetizing it. But you got to understand, if you're good enough, the time's going to come when the money comes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I just think that you know, kudos to you guys and your platform. I love the fact that y'all do such good business in that way. And I can't wait as a representative of this show to come out there. I'm going to be out there when they present you with the Monte Carlo and coming out my hole. I'm going to try to get some footage, and I want to be able to consume you guys in your element and see how it is, because the way that Rell describes it to me is that it's very triangle offense, Jordan, Pippen. If you try to stop Mike, Pippen gonna give you 30 on your head.
Yes, sir.
You try to stop Pippen, Jordan gonna flu game you to death. Like, it's pick your poison with y'all. And what I love is you never know who's gonna be Jordan or Scotty on what day.
You don't know, man.
So I can't wait to come out there and consume it. And all jokes aside, everybody up here got, you know, at least the guys that I have a relationship with, Rell. It's, you know, we make our jokes, man, but it's all love when it comes to you, because you definitely seem like a genuine guy. But to our conversation, it is tough because, like he said, he don't have a ton of time. You know what I mean? And I know that there's some people that got love for me who may feel like I might be talking to Rell too much.
Yep.
So it's a never ending battle, and this whole platform was built, man, on just trying to explain to people that it's not as easy as it seems. And I love the way that you correlated and having that discernment of tying all of those Baltimore steps together, leading you to see who Rell is, and then just knowing his character and him ending up being who he is. Man, y'all situation is it's amazing. It's amazing. I love the game that I see y'all give, and I just love watching and being part of it, because when I hang around y'all, I mean, I'm gonna still be wealthy, but there'll be no spotlight on me. That's my whole lane. Like,
Come over.
you know what I mean? I get to let E-Baby be him. I mean, Rell already know who he is here, So I just get to lay in the coat. I'm the broke friend, and that's my whole bag.
Nah, man, let me be the scrub on the passenger side of my best friend's ride. I want to be the scrub. I don't want nobody to mess with me, man. I got a wife and 2 kids, man. I don't need nobody trying to holler at me, you know.
Nah.
I don't need that kind of energy, man.
Nah, man. I love talking to, you know, whenever you come on with us, man, and whenever I get a chance to chop it up with you, because you like-minded, your vision is there, and I can watch from a distance and see what you're trying to create. And I don't care if you're North Carolina, Alaska, or whatever. If you win, I win, because there's a bigger stake at hand right now when it comes to African American businesses that do good business in the United States. And it's bigger than this show. It's bigger than everything else. So if you win, I win, Rell wins, there becomes a succession of Black entrepreneurs that continue to win. And like you said, some of these bags get open, some of these situations get changed, and we're able to increase our platforms and talk more, because I'm telling you now, I feel like that kind of about what we're building here, but I see it in what y'all building, that y'all gonna take off and people gonna go back. Because what I noticed within podcasts is a podcast takes off, and then out of the blue, somebody starts going back to the beginning interviews and saying, yo, like, they was giving it up. Episode 3, they was in there giving it up. Like, and the greatness of it is it expands, and seeing where this whole content creation, you know, I got so much to learn from y'all, man. Every time I see Rell, he got 17 cameras and a pair of car keys in his hand. Like, I can't keep up. I can't keep up with it, man. But definitely, I love chopping it up with you, Vapors, man. Before we close out, Rell, let me get your final thoughts while we got Vapors on here, man.
All right, about what? Talk to me.
Nah, so just close us out with your thoughts in the thought process of dealing with the emotions of people feeling like you forgot them, and your final thoughts on how to deal with that moving forward. And I want to steal 30 seconds of Vapors' thoughts on how to manage that so people have actionable items on what they can do to deal with that.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Lately, I've been taking it one step at a time.
Gotcha.
That's the best way for me. So, since I'm juggling so much, multiple business, family, you know, my household, the podcast, YouTube, you know, personal time. I got so much going on that I can't spend time trying to figure everything out, because that's going to mentally drain me. That happened to me before, and I shut everything down. No Facebook, no Instagram. You remember a couple of years ago, I shut everything down. Completely went dark. Nobody heard from me. Changed my phone number, and I completely went dark. So in order for me to not do that again, I take things one step at a time. And, you know, I manage any issues that come out with me. If it's a fire, I put it out then. If I smell like it's smoke, like it might be smoke over here, I ain't gonna go check if it's a fire right away, because then that throws me off my game. Like, yo, it might not be smoke. I'll wait a little bit, and it might not really be smoke. I might have just been foreseeing something and thought something was what it wasn't. So, yeah, I just take things one step at a time. That's my model for the rest of this year, bro. And by me doing that, it helps me manage my life so much better, a lot less stressful. I'm dealing with, like, if I know I got a podcast with Car Talk TV in 24 hours, guess what? I'm not focused on network is my net worth, because that comes 3 days after. I'm not trying to juggle both. The main thing is Car Talk TV. Okay, today, 24 hours, I need to be focused on Car Talk TV. I need to get my notes right. Let me do some last minute research. Okay, did we do our call? Cool. Then Tuesday come, maybe I'm dealing with all work stuff. Even though, you know, network is coming up, I'm dealing with all work stuff. Network comes up, boom, I'm locked in with network. Yeah, me and Vapors might talk about Car Talk TV, but I'm locked in with network. Boom, I might get a call from a family member. I'm locked in with that. You'll take care of that. Take care of that. Next day, boom. You know, I'm back out there with work. I got a client I got to pick up, and I got to do the driving myself, not a chauffeur. I need to be on point to make sure I knock that out. So I need to be focused on just that work, not car talk, not family, not anybody else, just that work. And I'm good with the ramifications of how people may see it. You can call it selfish. You can call it, oh, he don't care about me. Nah, that's the way I'm operating. That's just the way I'm managing. I got a system now that works best for me. And until I find a better system, that's how I'm operating it, one day at a time.
Great closing answer, bro. Babe, that's why we got you, man. Give me your thoughts on how you manage that.
Being laser focused on the things that are in front of me, the things that I'm responsible for, like my 2-year-old, my 7-year-old, my wife. It doesn't really give me much time to be overly concerned with other people's paths. You know, so if you have friends around you that you really care about, and you know you spend less time with them, if you kind of divert that energy and attention and focus back to the things that you're responsible for, you'll think about those things less, and you'll understand that God has a plan for everybody. And right now, it's less time with that particular friend. That's not to say, man, once y'all get through that grind mode, that a few months from now, next year, this time, we might all be in Cancun because we all did our thing and we all got laser focused on our business. Now we can sit back, you know, with a little umbrella in a drink. Somebody got some Sprite, somebody got some water in an exotic place because we actually followed the plan that was for our lives and not overly concerned in a good place with a good heart about someone else's plan. So I'm just laser focused on what I have to do. That's it.
Perfect, man. And I'll end this off, Rell, and then you can close this out. I think what needs to be done is you got to block out to the point of what Eve said. You definitely want to have laser focus, but sometimes it's okay that whether people like it or not, you can clarify where it is where you stand in your journey. Because yeah, there are going to be certain people that don't have they don't have your best interest in hand, and there's going to be some people that don't understand because your walk is different. If we work together on the same job and we going for the same promotion and we got to do it the same way, you understand it completely. So I don't have to explain it to you, right? But if you work in your job and I'm running my business and we both pushing for goals in different ways, sometimes a conversation amongst people, especially amongst men, because we internalize things when we're dealing with other men, instead of addressing it, a conversation that says, hey, listen, you're moving this way in your life to improve yourself. I'm doing the same thing, but in my way. And sometimes you can lead to be on the same page with somebody because sometimes it's hate and sometimes it's lack of understanding. So I want to end off by saying, when evaluating these people in your life and how they affect your business and all of that, figure out if it's hate or lack of understanding.
Love it. Love it. And like that, we out of here, man. We ran over, but it was a good one. It had to run over.
Yeah, it was a good one. And I cannot wait to tell our followers down the line that we had the legend on. Man, it's like the third time we had on with us. I'm going to run that in a hole because he's taking off. I'm going to run that on a hole, bro. Like, listen, 3 times?
Man, I'm just a guy, man, that like to collect sneakers, man. That's all. Here go a little new jump right here. Little new piece. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And they're good for the environment too, man. And they're only $100. It's an affordable Nike, a new Nike that they got out. It's made out of sustainable materials, recycled materials.
Listen,
yeah,
the new Nikes is different. They
yeah,
tough. I
man.
like that.
And $100 shoe. Come on, man. You know that's a good number.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, $100. So that's my tip for the day, man. Go find the sustainable Nike shoes, man, for $100, man. They'll change your walk game too, man. They're real comfortable, man.
That's a bet.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah,
all right, bro.
Out of here. We catch y'all next time. As I always say, stay positive, stay motivated. Salute.